everyone, Brick City Brown Chick coming at you with the topic for the week, which is about billionaires and the National Museum of African American History and Culture, otherwise known as the Black History Museum, which is part of the Smithsonian Institution. I hear from people pretty frequently that they are frustrated with hearing about the problems and challenges that we face in America without hearing solutions to those problems. So today I want to pitch a possible solution to what is going on at the African American History Museum. The current administration has made it very clear that they want the truth and the tone of this museum changed. What has become clear over the last 3 months of the administration is that they want to use a very old expression, whitewash American history. And they want to take the reality of what has happened in America, which includes slavery and Reconstruction and Jim Crow and the Civil Rights Movement, and they want to change the tone of all those things to make them sound less horrific than a lot of it was. I'll give an example from yesterday. The National Park Service has changed the references on their website to Harriet Tubman, who, as most people know, ran the Underground Railroad, which helped get enslaved people out of the South and into the North, where they could be free people. And they now are describing the Underground Railroad as a cooperation between blacks and whites, which is not at all what it was. What Harriet Tubman did was dangerous, and in her time, it was very much illegal. It was not legal for someone to take slaves from the South that were not their owners and help them get to freedom. That was not legal. So to now paint this as something that everybody was okay with is absolute madness. But this is where we are in America. We want to pretend that America was not a country founded on enslaving other people. But that's what happened. So I, as a person of African American descent, and also as a person who loves history and culture and who has been to that museum, am appalled at the possibility of what this administration may do to it. So my suggestion is that Forbes just came out with this list of billionaires. And on that list are 8 Black Americans. One person I am putting to the side for this conversation, and that's Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods made it clear many years ago that he does not consider himself Black because his mother was Thai, I believe, and he's a mix of a bunch of things. So I'm putting Tiger Woods to the side. But I'm going to highlight the other 7. Michael Jordan, Oprah Winfrey, Jay-Z, Magic Johnson, Tyler Perry, and Sheila Johnson. And if you don't know who Sheila Johnson is, please Google her. She's an amazing, amazing businesswoman. I am sending a shout out to those 7 American billionaires and to anyone else who has the money to join them. And what I'm asking them to do is to propose that they lease this museum from the Smithsonian for the next 4 years, 8 years, however long this insanity of denying American history lasts. Because that museum needs to be preserved as it is. Its artifacts need to be left as they are. Emmett Till, who was a 14-year-old boy who was killed in Mississippi in the 1950s by angry white men because he allegedly whistled at a white woman, his casket is there. There is a room that is a replica of a slave ship that shows how people were brought to America in chains, head to toe, almost naked. That needs to remain. There are hundreds and hundreds of exhibits in that museum that are priceless and invaluable. And just because America as a whole doesn't see or understand or want to understand the value, that doesn't mean that Black people don't. We do. That museum was fought for by generations of people. It only opened in 2016. It is not even a decade old. And already people who don't want to accept what is and what was want to tear it down and make it into something they find palatable. I am sorry, not sorry, that you find the history of this country and what it did to people unpalatable. But it doesn't change the truth. And there is no silencing those of us who know the truth. We will not be silent. We will not be okay with you ripping away our heritage and our history, because we know our heritage and our history. A lot of white America does not. A lot of white people in America have either never been taught or never bothered to learn the truth about what the Civil War was and what it was about. And don't get it twisted. It wasn't about this differences in economic viewpoint that people like to throw around. That's bullshit. The Civil War was about preserving the Union, and in preserving the Union, meaning not having people as slaves versus having the Confederacy and having people as slaves. I don't know why it's so hard for people to understand the horrors and the depths of slavery. But I do understand, because my parents taught me. What I didn't learn in school, my parents made sure I understood about our people and our history. And that needs to be preserved, whatever the cost. So, Black billionaires, have a conversation with the administration. This administration prizes money above everything else. You have the money. Sit down with them, have a conversation, write them a check for the next 4 years so that museum stays intact and people can continue to come and see both the suffering and the contributions that Black people have made to America, because this country needs to get right and needs to understand that the choices they make in the voting booth affect all of us. There was a march over the weekend, the Hands Off March, and a lot of people were upset that most Black Americans did not participate, and that includes me. And really, the truth is, this administration is hell-bent on getting Black people mad enough to go out in the streets so that they can then declare martial law and say, see, this is why we have to take away the rights from those people, because they are not valued members of America. Well, guess what? We are. And as I've heard several Black content creators say the last couple of weeks, we are not the ancestors. And we are not. We are not going to do things the way the ancestors did. It worked for them, but they had to fight for long periods of time. John Lewis, who we lost a few years ago, got his skull cracked open at Selma by white police officers who didn't want Black people to have the same rights that they had. It is time for us to find a new way to fight. And part of that fight needs to be preserving who we are and where we've come from. So Black billionaires, step up, meet with the administration, and ensure that museum will be what it was meant to be for our generation, your generation, and the generations that come after us. Those are my thoughts today. I want to thank everybody for joining me, and I will see you all again next week. Take care.